that deal. I'd like to use your rods. First question you're going to be asked is, have you ever used them? If the answer is no, I can guarantee it decreases your opportunity. Next question you're going to be asked, what can you offer us? What can you do for us as a member of our field staff or pro staff? And if all you can say is, well, I can catch fish, that's not going to work. If you can't promote them, if you can't elevate their brand in a way that's worthwhile to them, then why is it worthwhile to them to bring you on? They're offering you a discount if they bring you on, or whatever the case may be. So what have you got to offer them? Social media is, like I said, the biggest ticket to things nowadays. And then it's also your personality. If you're well known as an outgoing angler around your club or your tour, and people are going to get to see your face, know your name, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh shoot, he's wearing brand X on his shirt. He's got brand Y rods in his rod locker. Maybe I should take a look at them. Don't know much about that company, but all of a sudden I've seen the name every weekend when I see this guy on the water. Maybe I should look closer. Part of what helped me, and I know this is for a fact, because I hadn't done a huge amount of tournament angling when I signed on with War Dog Lures. But at the time I was also running, and still am, one of the largest fishing tournaments in the province. Our charity event, Fishing for Memories. On average, we're bringing out 150 anglers every year. Those people get to see me. The number of people that I have become friends with because of that tournament. Not just on Facebook, actual, enjoy seeing them face-to-face type friends. It's all exposure, and that's what it's about. It's not about money. Well, it is about money, but don't expect it to be about money going into your pocket. It's about what are you going to do for them. So, I don't know how much I can stress this, because I've talked to some of my pro staff and field staff managers, and they are eternally frustrated over people that basically expect to get a discount on products and do nothing in return. How many times do they have people sign up, get the discount, place their first order, get a X number of dollars worth of product at a discounted rate, and then after they get the cheaper products, they quit. Folks, if you want to be taken seriously in this industry, don't do stuff like that. Don't do stuff like that. We can have a lot of fun with this, and you can, like I said, raise your profile, raise your stake in the industry. And one or two guys out of thousands may get the chance to elevate their game to something we all dream of, making our living in the fishing industry. But don't expect it. That's not going to be the norm. Just because you land a field staff or pro staff position, there's no guarantee you're ever going to make a dime in the fishing industry, other than maybe cashing the occasional check if you get a tournament placing. So be honest with yourself before you go reaching out to these companies looking to staff. How much time do you have to commit? Do you truly believe in the product? Because you don't want to compromise your own way of thinking, compromise your own morals by endorsing a product that you don't completely believe in. I don't have a single company that I promote that I don't have faith in. I believe in them all. Am I going to tell you that if something happened that I lost a partnership with one of these businesses tomorrow, that there are other products on the market that I believe in? Well, yeah, there is. And that's why, as I said, when it comes to the bait situation specifically, there's more than one brand that I throw. So I'm not saying that if I had to stop using or stop promoting a certain brand of products that I'm going to have to leave the fishing industry. But I have faith in the products that I promote, because if I didn't have faith in them, I wouldn't promote them. So you ask yourself some of these benchmark questions. Time being the biggest one. And to me, the second biggest one is, do you believe in the product that you're trying to get a deal to represent? If you have faith in that product and you can, in good conscience, promote it, and you have the proper amount of time to commit to it, and you feel like you actually can offer the company something, then by all means reach out to them. Go on their website or their Facebook page. See where you can contact them. Send them an email. Look for an application. And go from there. The worst they can do is say no. But you never know until you ask. But just remember, those companies put a lot on the line to look after their field staff or pro staff. If you burn them, and I know guys that have, and I know some guys I have very little respect for, because they have burnt companies on the staffing positions. If you burn them, if you say hypothetically you're from New Brunswick, you're in my area, and you burn a rod manufacturer, do you know how hard it is going to be for another angler from the area to get on that staff for a little while? Because now that manufacturer's sour. You know, they're not just sour on you, they're going to be sour on the region for a little while. So if you burn them, it doesn't just hurt you. It hurts every guy that comes after you that could take advantage of that position and do it right. If you get in with a company and you don't think it's right for you, there are ways to do it, to part ways without burning bridges. You just shoot whoever your pro staff or field staff manager is, shoot them an email, give them a phone call saying, look, you know, I'm not really using your product enough to be worth my while to promote it. It's not worth your while because people aren't going to see me catching fish with it, you know, or, you know, all you offer is, you know, I'm just throwing out things based on the product. You know, all you offer is real heavy jackets, and I'm fishing in the summertime when it's hot. I don't wear your jacket enough. Whatever the case may be, depending on the type of product you're dealing with. But end it on good terms. You know, it definitely can be ended on good terms without any hard feelings, and then the next guy that comes along who thinks he is the right fit might still have a chance to get on there and get that little bit of a discount, which will be of an advantage to him or her. So ask yourself those questions. Treat the companies right, because if you treat them right, they're going to treat you right. The more you can do for them, the more they will do for you. It's all about respect. Show a little respect to them, they'll show it back. Everybody has fun. Everybody either makes a little money, in the case of the company, or in the case of the angler, you save some. And it just gives you that much more money to spend on something else, or to put back in your pocket. So, all these things considered, folks, if you are interested in field staffing or pro staffing, if you have any questions at all, if there's something I didn't answer, because I've been rambling on for almost 25 minutes now, and I'm not quite done yet, but I am going to start wrapping up. So, if you have any more questions about pro staffing or field staffing, please feel free to shoot me an email, dcpatterson, dcpatterson @live.com. Excuse me again. Or head over to our Facebook page, NB Bassin, BASSIN apostrophe, NB Bassin. Give us a like on Facebook. Shoot us a message on there. Any questions, emails, or Facebook messages that come in, I promise you they will get answered. So if you have any questions or show suggestions, anything of that nature, or criticism, folks, I know you're not all going to believe or agree with me all the time, and I'm okay with that. I like starting debate. I like having conversations. So if you have criticism, send it my way. Yes, I know my sound level's a little low. I'm working on that. I got to get some new technology. So if that's your criticism, you can probably hold off, because that is something I am aware of. One last thing, folks, before I let you go for today. If any of you were watching what the goings on south of the border over this past weekend, as a Canadian bass angler, I cannot say how proud I am to be a Canadian bass angler and to see what took place south of the border. And I'm not going to start listing everybody off, because in my haste and not having a prep sheet in front of me, I would forget somebody. But there was a pile of Canadian anglers go down to the FLW opener, down on the Walmart Series opener, down on Lake Okeechobee this past weekend. And virtually every Canadian angler, I'm not 100% sure on the co-angler side, but I will say virtually every Canadian angler that was there cashed a check. They came home with money in their pocket, topped off by an outstanding performance by Chris Johnston from Ontario, coming in third place in the opener of the FLW Tour for the 2016 season. Chris had a rough day one. I believe he was in the low 90s position-wise. I think 90, 92 in that range. And then he just made a charge. Day 2, Day 3, and Day 4. Climbing up the leaderboard to come home with his first time making a top 10 cut. He's a tour rookie. I actually went looking on the FLW website for Chris's angler profile, and at the time they didn't even have a picture of it. I can pretty much guarantee that if you go on the FLW website today and look for Chris Johnston, you're going to find a picture of him. So congratulations to Chris for his third place finish. You know, his brother Corey, Jeff Gussie, I can never get it right. Anyways, all the Canadian anglers on the pro and co-angler side, congratulations to all of you. You've got a country that's proud of you. I can't even talk. You've got a country that's very proud of all of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, hopefully spring will be upon us soon. Hopefully we can all get back on some open water and set some hooks of our own. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, have a good day.